Hey everyone, got a pile of mail, so it's time for another mailbag, including some non-electronics item at the end. First things first, there's these two items that were actually sent by a company. They just wanted this to be shown off on the mailbag. So there is one of them. So the company is Tessman, and here comes another. A little bit of the packing fluff because I removed my label from it. So there we go. There's two things from Tessman. So the very first one is one of these chicken sticks that shows the voltage, live voltage. So these things are very important if you need at least one in your arsenal, and it's just to make sure when you flipped off that breaker that it's actually off. Does it need batteries? It does need batteries. Okay, well, gonna get some batteries for that in a moment. But yeah, so AC voltage checker. I think it does a couple little things too. And then here we have a multimeter with a huge manual. Interesting. So this is the Tessman. Let's see. Oh, this one has batteries in it. Nice. Let's steal these for that and then swap it over after. Like so. This thing? Oh wait, this thing came with batteries. Oh jeez. Let's see. What polarity? Very likely positive down. Like so. Let's turn this on. Okay, so there is 12 volts to 1 kilovolt. It's on AC right now. 70 volts to 1 kilovolts. Okay, so let's see what we can do here. So I've got a plug pack just over here. Oh. Yeah, that definitely beeps. I don't know if you guys can hear that on the mic, but it definitely beeps when you get close to the AC. Anything? Oh. Sort of like my my webcam here. It's picking up stuff probably because it's coupled. Okay, very good. So that seems to work. There's also a little flashlight in there. There we go. Turn that off. It's pretty good. Pretty good little tool. Basically, you don't want to do any kind of electrical work without one of these things. So Tessman wanted me to show you theirs. Now let's check out the little multimeter. Really good added touch to give me batteries with it, and on top of that give me Duracells, so relatively good quality batteries. Let's see, so this thing is very light, seems very simplistic. Oh, I need a screwdriver for the battery box. Alright, here it goes. There we go. That's in. I believe the screw on the battery box is a requirement for ETL or CSA testing, because or else children can swallow the batteries. I think that's the deal with that. All right, so this is one of these auto dealies. Comes with a set of leads. Now, if you're thinking these leads look inexpensive, that's because this multimeter is incredibly inexpensive. It's very affordable. So if you don't have any, you kind of don't have an excuse. You can just go and buy something affordable like this, because literally anything is better than nothing. Okay, so it's got the beep. That's good. I don't know if it has NCV. Maybe I have to hold this for NCV. There we go, NCV. I don't know if it's the probe. No, not the probe. Maybe it's the whole unit. Yeah, definitely the whole unit. So that includes a little bit of the functionality of this thing in it. So that's pretty nice. Back to auto now. Should be able to AC volt this. So I'm going to stuff this in the wall outlet here. Hopefully it doesn't explode. There we go. 121.4 volts. Pretty neat. So it does do voltage. And maybe I will put it real quick through the resistance tester. This is my Kaiweets resistance box, and I will check here. You guys see? Yeah, you guys can see. Alright, so let's see. 10 ohms. Ooh, that's giving me this is giving me in kilo ohms. So let's see again. It's just gonna beep. So give me 10 ohms on the dot. 100 ohms. Yeah, 0.1k, 101. Okay. 1k ohm. It's yeah. Ooh, just barely there. 10k ohm. Is it gonna make it? Almost bang on. And 100k ohm. There we go, almost bang on as well. And I'm just gonna check these capacitors. It cannot figure out capacitance. Nope, does not measure capacitance. Alright, well, these devices, I will put a link in the description, and I'll make some affiliate links. So if you're interested, go check that out in the description. Next ones up are these three, which are all related to each other. And so this is $17.76, $5.76, and $6.10. And they are related to each other, and I need them for development of another 3D printed project. So let me pull these out. So there's one. There's two. And there is three. So what this is this is M6, so metric, 6mm hardware. These are brass threaded rods, 250 millimeters by 6mm threads. So there's 4 of these in the pack. These are a bunch of brass washers. There should be about 20 of them. I do believe so. So again for M6, and here are M6 brass nuts. So this looks like there's maybe 40 of them. So the point of these is I'm going to make myself little binding posts. So maybe we all know these little guys that you can put a sort of a 4mm banana into. But I want to make the battery style binding posts, which you can put a fork terminal or a ring terminal on, and it has a lid just like this. So the plan is to have this as the main attachment rod, the M6, and then I would have a nut underneath with a washer and another nut to pinch a wire terminal underneath there. And then on the very top here, I would have a little cap and a little plastic skirt, and I'll be able to put in a, take the cap off, put a wire on, tighten the cap down. And so these things should work fairly well. Now M6 is not for super high currents, 6mm. It's not going to support super high currents, but this is where I am starting with the M6. And then I'm going to probably make a whole series of them up to, probably M10, and yeah, make my own battery terminals. And you'd be surprised how expensive battery terminals are. And they're typically just made out of basically brass threaded rod, brass nuts and brass washers, and some plastic, injection molded parts. And so buying these separately, yeah, it cost me kind of a little bit of money, but to be able to customize things the way I want them, I think it's a fairly good deal. And so, yeah, I need these out so I can take precise measurements of them and CAD, a design, and then print them on the 3D printer. Next one up are these here. I'm hoping that these are exactly what I wanted, but these were $16.08. Prices have gone up a lot in the last couple months. So if you're starting from my first mailbag, you'll notice that the prices have probably quadrupled since then. That's really unfortunate. But here we go, 20 pieces, 3 watt RGB. So let me cut this open. So these should be fully analog RGB 3 watt LEDs on the Luxian Star style heat sinks. Red, blue, is there a green? Oh, green is on top. Okay, so there's 6 connections, red, blue, and green. And so the point of these is you can break them apart if you want to just use one. And then you would, thermal adhesive this onto a heatsink, and then you can, mix colors, red, green, and blue, using PWM signals. So if you go on to Pile of Stuff's channel, he's been making little spotlights and 3D printed, and this inspired me to buy these things, and I want to try to make my own spotlights. Now I don't want them to look like spotlights, I just want them to act like them. So let me show you my plan for these. So a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, I had ordered some lenses, here they are, for these kinds of lights, for these kinds of LEDs. And so these are like little flashlight lenses, and they fit just about perfectly onto these lights. And so my plan is to use these things to project light to make cool effects for for background lighting and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna have these kind of here and there, and they should splash light onto surfaces. I don't know how bright they're gonna be. I mean, 3 watts is not super bright, but then again, neither am I, and here I am. So yeah, let me know if you're interested in that. Couldn't help but to solder one up, but yeah, just to show you, I've got the red and the blue, so no brightness control, but there's the red. And so I'm going to flip this downwards. See, it gives like a pool of red, but if you put on the little lens, there you go. You see, it's more like a beam, and I can turn on the blue as well. So there's the red and the blue together. It doesn't mix the colors quite as well as I would have hoped, but I guess it doesn't really matter. Let me just drop the voltage down a little bit here. So there's 3.3. This is this is 1.4 watts of blue and 1.29 watts of red. So this is getting quite hot, so I'm going to turn them off now. But yeah, so you can see, you would just PWM control these things, and yeah, they would change light value. Definitely would add another heatsink on the back there, because it is getting quite toasty. On to the next one. Next one up is this one here, and I have to admit I did cheat a little bit. This is from Amazon, and I did open it, and I did use some of the things. So that's why it's no surprise what this is. So this here is a crimper to crimp, large power lugs. And so it also came with a selection of these copper lugs with tin coating. But this thing is really cool. So first of all, it's really big. Let's see. In centimeters, it's 38, almost 39 centimeters long. In inches, it is about 15 inches long, so pretty big. And what's cool about this is it has these dies here, and all you have to do is you press on the button here, and you can rotate it to the proper size you need, like so. And then you line up the other side with that size too. So that was a 50. I'm going to go up to a 50 here, like so, and then you can crimp your die, or you can crimp your terminal. And then these terminals here, they go down all the way to, oh, they're marked SC66. I think this is 6 gauge. No, it couldn't possibly be 6 gauge. Maybe 6 millimeters square, I'm not sure. But then the hole is for like an M6. So There's a whole bunch of different sizes here. I'm getting into doing a little bit more power electronic stuff, batteries and whatever. So this was needed. This was not very expensive, actually, for what you get. I priced out the terminals and the tools separately, and this kit was the best value, so I'll link that in the description if you're looking for one. And yeah, if you saw some of my work on the lithium iron phosphate battery video, you definitely saw some crimps. I will make a more detailed video on that coming up, but not until this thing is revealed, and here it is. On to the next one. Alright, last object before the off-topic ones. I found this to be a very good price for what this is, $20.34. Let me know if you agree or not. I've never owned one of these tools, and so I figured it was time when this was on super sale on AliExpress. So this is an endoscope, and so it's a little device. Ooh, it is little, huh? With a tiny little camera on a waterproof sort of rope. I don't know, wire, extension, whatever. I believe this one has a lithium battery built in. Yeah, it does have a charger here. USB-C. That's pretty nice. It has little adapters, a little instruction booklet. And let's see how this works. We're going to power it on. Don't know if you guys can see. Yeah, you guys can see. Welcome. Oh, wow. There we go. And directly, look at that. You guys can see. And so the goal of this is to actually see inside of objects or whatever. And then you can change the brightness here. Let's see if I can... Does that just change the LED brightness? Yeah, it changes the LED brightness, which is weird because the gain is automatic. Does this have an SD card slot? I don't see one, but maybe there's internal memory. Definitely came fully charged. Okay, so let's take this for example. So this is my Readin RD6018 power supply, and it's got little holes in there. And look at that, we can just barely fit the little head in the hole, and we can go take a look inside. You guys see that? There's a capacitor there, ooh, which is just touching the plastic, so it's pretty tight fit. Little fan. See, the little fan's not on. You can go check elsewhere. Oh, there's an inductor. So yeah, it's a cool thing to go look into little areas. It says it records at full 1080p. I'll have to get back to you on that. I don't see a record though. Am I wrong? Maybe it doesn't record. Maybe that's why this is so cheap. Oh, the tip is getting a little hot there. Okay, well that's interesting that it doesn't record. I could check into the instructions. I mean, it says light down, light up, power on, off. That's it. Not much to it. Maybe though, if you plug it into a computer, maybe it acts like a webcam. I'll have to check that functionality. So here you got little accessories. So you've got a little hook, so you can go in and reach devices, reach stuff and pull it back out. Here you've got a little spring, and I think this spring is just like a hook, but you would you know, twist it on something. And then you've got a little mirror over here, so you can see 45 degrees. So let's see if that clips on. That is not very clear, I'll tell you that. I think this mirror might be bent in shipping. Definitely. So you're gonna have to bend that to a convenient angle when you get the chance. However, I think this is pretty cool. I think it'll let me go inspect inside of stuff and yeah, take a look, especially on the automotive side. This could be really useful. So yeah, we're going to be scoping some stuff. I just don't know when. Alright, the final items, these are off topic, so you can skip to the end if you want. $3.25, $4.46, and $7.70. Now, for what I know one of these things are, packages are pretty small. So that's fine. And try not to slice through this stuff. Okay, these are those. Don't know if you guys know what these are yet. There we go. So these are accessories for jerry cans, like fuel containers. And so what this is just a general accessories pack. So you got a little spout. Okay, doesn't seem too bad, with a couple different caps. I didn't know this before, but there's actually two different fittings for the cap. There's one with a coarse thread and one with fine thread. So you get both in this kit. Here's a little stopper, which there we go. And then you got a little vent, so you can add a vent to your ventless tanks. And that's a cap for the vent, I think, unless this one is already a cap. Huh. I don't really know what this is, but this is a little cap for the vent. And then a couple little washers. And these are just these seals here. So this seal, these are the same seal, very similar at least. So the point of getting these is that I have an aluminum boat, which I have not been able to go up to because of my transmission woes on the Volvo. Yeah, so there's these seals. And instead of getting a marine fuel tank, all I did was made a little adapter that goes into the top of the jerry can, and I can feed my fuel directly from it. Well, there's a couple downsides to that. One is that my jerry can is ventless, so I figured I would add a vent using, some of these components. I thought this would add a vent, but it doesn't. But anyways, it doesn't matter. And the other thing is show you guys how to make it, because these caps and stuff, you can get them very inexpensively. You saw, I think it was $6 for this. And so you can just drill this and put some O-rings and, epoxy or whatever, and make your own little fittings. So if you guys are interested in that, it may wait till next year, but it is what it is. And these are just very small fuel lines. So 2mm interior fuel line, and that is 3mm interior fuel line. The reason for these is I got a hedge trimmer in the garbage, and the only thing wrong with it was that the fuel lines were broken. So I just ordered some fuel line, but now it's been so long that it's been sitting around forever. I will get to it at some point, but yeah, extra parts. And that's it for today's mailbag. I need to get to work on these things here, so check out the links in the description for these Testman items, LEDs, brass parts, all sorts of stuff, and hope to catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.